Heidi ho, Heidi ho, Heidi ho. How are you today, my friends? So today we are going to be working and finally starting to decorate our little journal. So I've just been adding some lace, some cotton lace to the edges of my pages. And I'm going to trim that off after the glue dries. But first, I want to show you hold on here, my chair's scooting. And not the way a chair's supposed to scoot, unfortunately. And so I need to scoot it back before I end up on my patootie on the floor. So now I need to find my safe spot here. Ah, here it is. Okay, so I sewed into my signatures an envelope, just a regular business size envelope. And just a piece of scrap cardstock. And what I did before I came on camera, to save you the boring part of seeing me cover the back of this envelope like this, was I just put a piece of really thin cardstock. Now, I say cardstock very loosely because it comes from this pack. And this is the weight if you decide to get this pack of cardstock. And I do highly recommend it because it is the weight of copy paper. So you can feel free to use it in any of your books. And it adds color and design and pattern, but it doesn't add bulk at all. I've used it in many of my journals as scraps, as actual pages, and it doesn't add any bulk. That blue one, let me see if I can find it for you, some of these are really, really pretty. Let me just do a quick flip here for you. There's some really pretty patterns. I've used it in, you'll see some of the journals that I've used it in. And so I do recommend it because it is just the weight of copy paper. So I used the term scrapbook. This is the one. It's a really pretty print. Very loosely for this. This one, I really like this one. There's all kinds of things you could fussy cut around. You can use the whole page, whatever you want. So I do recommend this if you do find it. This is just full of stamps. So if you've got the patience, I do not. You could cut out some stamps. You could use this as a page. You could do, whatever you want with it. And there's, I think, two sheets of each, three of each, 3 pages of each pattern. That's a nice page. This is a really nice page. So there's a lot of really nice patterns in here that you can use. And I've used quite a bit of them. And this is a big page. This is a big book. It's got 180 sheets in it. And I think I got it at Joann's on one of their sales. But even not on sale, it was only $20. And I know some of you are saying $20 for paper. This is a big, for this amount of paper, it's a lot. And it's 12 by 12. And as you can see, I still have that much left. Having 3 pages of each, really gives you a lot to play with. So I do recommend it. And I will tell you the name. This is one of my favorites also. I love that little pattern down there with the little bird in it. I've made a little tag out of that. I've made tags out of some of it. And we might use that one again to make some little tags. I fussy cut some of the little things out, like some of the butterflies and so it's just a very nice it's just a very nice pad of paper. And again, it's called Theodosia Square. It's got 60 designs. There's 3 pages of each design. It's acid free and it's 12 by 12 and it's made by the Paper Studio. So I'm trying to think, Paper Studio. I think that's Joann's. It might be Michael's. I'm not sure. Oh, I take that back. It's Hobby Lobby. It says it right there. Right there. Hobby Lobby. So it is definitely worth the $20. And this time of year, you might be able to find it on clearance, but look on their website also. Hobby Lobby has a website, and so you can get it shipped to you to your house, and you don't have to go out and all the craziness. Okay, so I did want to share that with you. Okay, so that is what I covered the back of this with. Okay, so and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little envelope, and this is just a scrap of one of those pages, and it's going to sit right here like this. Now I haven't cut any of the holes on these yet. Okay, so that's what, if you're going, well, what's it going to be, you'll see that in a minute. I wanted the glue to dry. This is going to sit like this. Okay, and then this side's going to get cut or covered, and the little flap's going to get covered. Up here, I'm just going to cut a piece that sits. It's not going to cover the whole page, but it's going to be enough to cover this little flap, because it's going to sit like this, not toward the middle, but not toward the bottom and not toward the top. Does that kind of sort of make sense? It's going to sit like this, and this is going to be decorated, and so is this. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. And to decorate it, I'm going to use this little scrap of a pink tulip that I found. So that's what we're going to do. Oh, look, I found another scrap. So I have a little scrap box here that I started. So for this page, let's start with this page. I think I want, so I have some little scrap lace. I have a little piece of scrap lace. So we're going to pull that out. I also have some scrap pieces of fabric that we might use. But I also have some book pages that I really like. And I'm thinking I want to use some book pages. I want some book pages down here because I want the darker color. And I also have my ink. Here's my dauber, and my ink is up there. And I think I can't decide if I want a bird or a butterfly on this. And this is an old page from an old book, and I don't want a great big piece. And I still need to get my page on here. I want that. I just, maybe here. Nope, that's not what I want. I want some color. I don't want a lot of, you know, like color like this. I just want like a solid color. Do you know where I'm coming from here? You know how you look at something and you think, I don't want to add any more color to a page, but I just want a solid piece of cardstock. Does that make sense? I hope it does, because that's what I'm looking for here in our little scrap box. You know, I guess, oh, here's one right here. I knew I had one. Okay, this is what I'm kind of looking for. Yeah, because we can ink that up. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Because, you know, we can decorate this. That's what I want. So let's get our cereal bag out. And let's get our ink. And we're going to have to ink that also, but let's start with this. And you know what? Let's go with our big. Let's go with our big. This is our makeup brush. Let's move all of our dealy-wops out of the way. And let's start with, this is Vintage Photo. And these are all oxides on this on these four. These are all oxide. This is smoked. Let me show you. They go in order as Hickory Smoke, Vintage Photo, Ground Espresso, and Black. So I'm starting up here at the top with Vintage Photo, and then I'm going to move into some Ground Espresso. Okay, so I'm starting with my Vintage Photo. Just want it to kind of fill in on the edges. I guess I should have measured this, because I'm going to do all this and then I'm going to cut it and I'm going to have to do it all again. All right, let's see what size we need here. And I'm going to tear it to get our ruler because I want that torn edge. Okay, so let's get our bottom. Okay, this is where I want the bottom. This will give me a nice torn edge to work against. Yeah, that'll be nice. Now, I need a little bit of a torn edge over here because I don't have one. So let's make this a smidgen smaller. Oops, let me get this off from underneath me. So we're going to make it just a little narrower. There we go. Okay. Now that'll give me a torn edge all the way around so that my ink or my oxide gives me that nice, oh yeah, gives me that nice grungy. Yeah, see the difference here in the edges? That's what I like. Yeah, see, I never knew I really liked a grungy look. Until I accidentally did it one day. It was like, ooh, I like that. I don't like that in my way, though, because that's really going to be in my way. All right, now let's go down here to Ground Espresso, and we're going to start making it a little bit darker. Oop, I got it in my fingers. Oh, well. Oh, yeah. There we go. Now we're looking. Having that Vintage Photo underneath is really giving us some nice color. I must have it on my finger somewhere because I don't know where that came from. All right, I want to add some more Vintage Photo, kind of more toward the middle. Okay, but I want to leave this lighter. Okay, I want to leave that lighter. And honestly, I have no idea where that came from. So I'm going to put that aside. And I want to do this. Now, I don't have to do the middle on this. But I do want to cover the rest of it. And I only want to do it in Vintage Photo. So I'm going to cover the rest of my pages. And I'm going to come in like this. Now, you can always do this before you sew in your pages. And I did think about doing that. I did think about doing a book where we decorated our pages prior to sewing them in. And I have done that before. And that was a lot of fun, actually. And we may do a book like that again. And that is a whole lot of fun. Because you get to do all kinds of stuff that way. That you would never think about doing. I do have it on my finger. Because you get to do stuff that you're not able to do in a regular book. Because it's too difficult. There we go. Now that'll look nice. Okay. And now we don't have to mess with the regular dauber. Okay, so now we can put this away. Let's put this away. Get it out of our way. Put the regular dauber out of our way. Now, we can put this down, but what we're going to do when we put this down is we're going to make this a pocket. Okay, so this is going to be a pocket. And this is going to sit on top like this. Nope, wrong way. This is going to sit, come here. Let me get this out from under here so I can see everything. This is going to sit here. Did I do that backwards? Oh, good gracious, I think I did. Oh, well. Okay. This. I want this to wrap around. I did do it backwards. Good golly Moses. I want this here, except I don't want the white. You know, I think sometimes if my brain functioned as fast as my hands, I could be in trouble. And I want that there. Now, where? I want some lace, so I need to lighten this up a little bit since my nothing was functioning all at the same time. Let's put a little bit of lace here at the bottom. Let's bring in a little bit of book page. We'll put that underneath. And I have out my little labels. Let's bring in a little label. Let's see, I think I have a little one in here. If not, you know what? We'll find one. Let's see here in this little... You know, sometimes it's not the problem that you don't have one. It's that you don't have one small enough. Here's one. And then we'll stick this down here like this. Okay. So, let's... Alright, so our little envelope is going to be taken care of. So, let's go on and do our little envelope. All right, let's put our little envelope, little cluster down here. And I don't necessarily want that straight. And this was just coffee dyed. It's from an old book. It's not old because I still use it. It's one of my floral books. And I wanted to see if I could coffee dye the paper because it's kind of shiny. And I want that down there. And you can coffee dye paper, shiny paper, in case you're wondering. And I want that there. All right, let's take that off. And I want that there. Okay, so let's get this book page out of the way. All right, so our little envelope. Oops, I forgot the lace, didn't I? All right, so I want to put this across the bottom. I think this will hold that lace. Okay. Now, let's put our lace down. That'll lighten up our page a little bit. make sure our lace is straight. Let's grab our fabric scissors and cut that off. Okay. All right, so there's our little envelope. I'm going to sit this up here to dry. Oops, maybe. Now, for this, I want this to sit here, but I want it to be a pocket because I want to be able to put a tag in it when the glue dries. So I want to glue it down for a pocket. So I'm going to glue down 3 sides. Oops, I got to punch my little hole at the top. Now, where's my little punch-a-do? Here it is. Get a hold of it here. Okay. And I'm going to put that right there. Okay. Now this is just going to go around here. Yeah, see, I did it completely backwards. And then back here, we're going to glue this down. And I need another one of those pieces of paper to cover this up. Silly woman. Silly, silly woman. Which was the purpose of that paper to start with. Now, on there, on our little piece of paper that we just inked up so nicely, I think I want a bird. Let's see if we have a bird. We have pink flowers. Let's see if we have a bird that will go in there. I have lots of birds. I love birds. I just got a new bird feeder. And you should see how big this thing is. It's to keep the squirrels, you know, the kind that the squirrels can't eat the food, because the squirrels love eating food out of my bird feeders. I have one that they have just destroyed. And they have gotten in it. I think that's probably going to be our tag. Or maybe that's going to be our tag. And they have gotten in it so many times that the last time the little squirrel got in it, I'm going to have to name him Silly. Because, oh, there's a nice little bird. He got stuck. Oh, no, that's a cute little bird. He went in head first. They're not the smartest squirrels. He went in head first. And then he got stuck. Oh, maybe that bird. He went in head first. He got stuck. And I had to go let him out. Yeah, he's not the smartest squirrel. But we must going to be having, you know, there's an old wives' tale that is if you're going to have a lot of snow or a bad winter, that the squirrels start collecting a lot of nuts. Well, around here, now I'm in southwest Pennsylvania, the squirrels, good heavens, the squirrels have gone crazy. They're collecting nuts like crazy. Just everywhere they're collecting them. Now, is he going to fit? I wonder if we'd like a butterfly better. What do you think, you guys? They are collecting them like crazy. And their little nests must be so full. I don't know how they're keeping their families in them. But we have a... Oh, there's a pretty yellow one I bet would fit. We have a squirrel's nest that sits over in our big pine tree. And, oh, I think I like that better. I think we're going to put that right there. And you know what? I'm not going to add that. I just want that. I just want that. And maybe a label. But I just want that. Now I do want that inked a little bit because he looks a little too, you know, like he's been hiding in the house. Kind of like me. So I'm not sure where squirrels put the nuts that they collect, you know, and how their family survives after they collect them all. But this little dude, he must have a mess in his nest. That's all I can tell him. He's got a mess in his nest, because I don't know how in the world I think we're going to put that there. And we're going to put this little butterfly label, because and we're going to put, no, then it won't close. Because there's just no way his little family and himself can live in there. There is just no freaking way. So, I don't know what he's doing, but more power to you, dude. Yeah, I think this is good. Yeah, this is a very old piece of paper. Yeah, just like that. Perfect. Okay, so I think we need to fill that label in, because that will make me crazy if we don't. Okay, we need to put the date. We need to put 12/24. And I need a thinner pen, because I'm not going to be able to read my writing. And I'm going to use, that's not black, though. So I'm using my Micron. It's a Micron pen, and it's a number 1. And it's black. The color of your pen will tell you the color of the ink. Okay, so this one's black. And that one's brown. See the tip of the pen? It'll tell you the color of it. Okay. Specimen number 2025. Yeah, I'm going rogue, guys. I'm going rogue. Notes. Yellow. And I'm not being very original. Yellow butterfly. There we go. And there are points smaller than this one. I have one. I used to have one that was smaller. Okay, so that's done. So let's put this up. Okay, so now down here, what are we going to do down here? Now, I'm not going to punch anything until I get everything covered. Now, remember, this is going to sit here, and we still need to cover this. So we need to cover this for the back of this, and we need to cover this. Okay, so now let's decide what we're going to do. So I think I have these old book pages. These are just old book pages. Ooh, I kind of like that one that I yanked out. Oh, I love that one. And I think I'm going to use this one for up here. So let me get the paper trimmer. and the glue stick. I don't think I'm going to put wet glue on this because it's so old. You know, wet glue as in liquid wet glue. I think I'm just going to use this. And I'm just going to cover this like this. And I actually didn't want to cover that whole thing either. Silly woman. But now that I have, I will. Let's scoot that up there. I kind of just wanted the house part. This is another really old book page. Let's see, what do we need here before I cut off any of that water wheel? Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get a whole lot of it, but let's see how much we can get of it. I don't think it's going to be a whole lot, but we'll see what all we can get. Yeah. I know this is awkward trimming like this, but you know, life happens sometimes, you guys. Life happens. So I'm just going to trim it across so I can save this bottom piece of our picture. There. Oh, looks like I got a lot of it. Wow. Well, maybe I spoke too soon. Well, there's that. Well, I got part of the house, so that's a good thing. Okay. So now I have to be careful that I don't cut the envelope. So first part I'm going to trim is next to the envelope because I don't want to cut it. Okay, like that. Now I can come in and trim across the top. I can go this way. Now, I will save you the agony of watching me trim the sides. I will do that off camera because that is going to be some fine. I'm going to have to, oh, look, we still have the water wheel we can use. Because what you'll have to do is you have to trim in like this. Now, see, look, I'm doing it. I told you I wasn't going to. And then you have to cut down. There you go. And that way you cover the flap of your envelope, but you don't cut into your page. Now, you don't have to do it that way. If you choose not to, you don't have to. But see, I don't take my envelope all the way in. I give it a little bit of space. Okay, so there's that. And I'm not going to do anything else on my house. I'm going to leave it just like that. Now this one, I need to do the same thing too. Now I'm not going to use my house, but I'm going to use something else out of our little scrap box. Let's see. How's that piece? Nope, too small. That's too small. I think the other scraps I have might be too small. Oh wait, here's one. Oh, that one will fit. Now this one, I'm going to measure. Now, I want this piece to come up here though. And because I want a certain piece, I am going to measure. Oops, and I don't want this in my spine. And my envelope is coffee dyed. And no, I do not like using a ruler. Okay. So I want to make sure that I'm going to have room for my little baby envelope, which is going to go right there. Oops, you are up too high, my friend. Right there. Okay, so now that I have my lines, I can just nip them off here. Just like that. And most likely I just cut that crooked. Oh, look, I didn't. Yay! Oh, I did. It's too big. Well, it's too big, so that's all right. I can trim it down. Okay, so I want this up at the top, but not all the way at the top. Let's see here. I want this to be a top loading pocket, so this is going to have to be at the bottom. Silly little thing. See, I wanted that to show. So I guess this is going to have to be over here. Okay. All right, so you're going to have to be over here. Let's see, is that still going to flip out okay? Let me make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay. All right, I'm just walking you through my thought process here. So because my paper's too big, I need to go on and trim it. And because I need to trim it, I need to go on, what do I do with it here? I need to go on and glue it down. Now, of course, we have, you know, the other end of them someplace else in this signature. And we'll be doing something different with that side. Okay. Now, because this little envelope is sitting over here, now I don't want to push this down all the way because I want that little envelope to sit under here. Okay, I need to hold that up while I trim. Okay, now my little envelope is going to tuck, come here, under here. Yeah, that's about as haphazard as I'm going to get. And that's okay that it's that close because I'm going to do something else with it. Just like that. We are going to do something else with it. We're actually going to glue that closed here in a minute, but I've got to get this glue off of this page here. I got glue over here, so I need to wipe that off. I need to wipe this glue off. Okay, now I'm going to have to trim down here, and I'm going to need a drink of water. Okay. Now, to make these our pockets, we're going to take our punches, and I want to punch up here. So now this is now a top loading pocket. Let me find it here. Well, if I can get my fingers on a hold of it here. Oops. Sorry about that. Oh, my paper still hasn't dried. Okay. I need to let my paper dry. I keep pulling my paper off. This little guy here is also going to be a little top loading pocket. So he's now a top loading pocket. I might need to go down further for him so I can get past his little seam. Let me make his hole a little bit bigger. Come on, big guy. I know your seam isn't that big. There it is. Right. Well, for goodness sakes. It's right there. Why can't I get it to open? There it is. There it is. He is a top loading pocket. Oops. Whoops a doodles. All right, I'll deal with him. Now you are a top loading pocket. Let's get this in here. Because you should be opening unless I glued you shut, you goofy thing. Oh, there you are right there. Okay, there's part of the envelope. Oh dear, I think I did glue the envelope shut. Up there it is. Right there. Oh, I glued my hole shut. Okay, hold on. I got to get the glue open. There it is. There it is. Oh my gracious. Oh, you're so silly. There it is. Okay, so there's my top loading pocket. I'll have to ink inside there. And this little one is a top loading pocket. This one's a top loading pocket. And this one is a side pocket. Right here. We're going to keep that one as side pocket. Oh my goodness sakes. What an ordeal. Okay. Now let me see the time. Okay. Well, we have time to put some other pockets in really quick. And then we're going to call it a day. Okay, so I made these are just little triangles, okay? So to make these, you need a square, and then you just cut them in half, okay? And I just added little fussy cuts to them. And I'm just going to add them haphazardly through my book, like this. And now they're just little side tucks. So before I glue this little pocket down, I'm going to put this little butterfly right here. And then you just glue two sides. And then you put it down. Now you have a pocket right here. Okay? And don't forget, spread them out through your book. Okay? You want to make sure that you spread them out. You don't want them in just one section. So as we decorate our book, we're going to make sure that every section of our book... Oh, this one is not going to go here. This one's going to be the extra one I made. You want to make sure that in your book, you do something in every part or in every signature. So what I do is when I make something, if I really like the way it looks, I make 3 because I have 3 signatures. So I do 1. Oops, I should have done the side here. I do 1 for every signature. And I just spread them out within the signatures. Okay. Now I want to ink this flower here a little bit. There we go. And that way your book doesn't get too bulky in one spot. You know, like one signature doesn't get real bulgy and the others, you know, kind of lay flat. It kind of keeps your book even. And that's what you want. You want everything to lay nice and even. Okay, you need some ink on you, dude. You're a little too white. Around the edges. And just a little hint, if you're going to be cutting something out, like I have this little fussy cut of a bee, ink the entire page before you cut it out. That way you don't have to do what I just had to do and try to fussy cut around something that's really small. It's already done. There we go. Now what I'm doing on these is I'm just adding a little layer to each one of them. And when I'm putting them in, I'm making sure that, see, here's the back of what we just did. I'm making sure that, whoops, I meant to put that in there. Oh, well, I'll find it. I'm making sure that I'm spreading these out throughout the book. Like I just did one that was in the front of the book, and then I moved into the second signature and did one that was in the middle of that signature. And now I'm in signature 3, and I'm doing this toward the end of the signature. And don't always do things on the right or left, on the right side. Do some things that are on the left side. Do some things that are on the right side. And that'll also help keep your book laying nice and flat and even. Okay. So, and this little edge here was just done with a little, it's called a side punch. And I have no idea if I'm going to be able to get this. This is just a little sticker. And I have no idea if I'm going to be able to get this off or not. And if not, he is getting glued down. Because I am not going to spend a lot of time messing with it. Nope. Sorry, dude. You are getting glued. Of course, I don't really know if it's a sticker or not, so. I just liked it because it was blue. There we go. Now, my book is going to kind of just be a mix of styles and colors, and it really isn't going to have a theme. So if you want your book to have a theme, now's the time to kind of choose things that you like. Most of my books don't have themes. I just kind of pick and choose, you know, what I like. Some of these things make good mass makes, like these little pockets that we're doing now. These are quick to make. These are easy to make. And they just use scraps. So, You know, if it's something that you like to make and you always need ephemera, now's the time to make them. You know, while you're in the midst of, I think I just put the glue on backwards. Oh, well. You know, so now's the time to make it while you're doing it. And then you can put it in a little, you know, safe place to keep it. You know, I use these little 5x7 envelopes that you've seen me use. And once I complete things, I put them in there, or, you know, those pretty little decorative boxes that you see in Michael's and Walmart and places like that. I have one and I have it labeled finished ephemera. And when I make things in videos for you guys, I just put stuff in there. So whenever I need it for journals, it's in there. Like this is an extra one because it won't fit in this book. It's not wide enough. See, it's too wide. So this will get saved for another book. And that way when I need one, I'll already have one. And if I have time today, I might make some more of them. Otherwise, I won't. But I will go back and trim off the ends of this ribbon. And this ribbon, this lacy ribbon that's sticking out here that I'm trimming off, this will all get saved in a little scrap envelope of this stuff. And then when we need just a little piece of it to go into a cluster, this is what I pull out. You know, this is the stuff that I pull out. Oh, there's the bumblebee I was looking for. Now this does need a topper, and I'll come back in and give him a topper. But I'm not going to do that right now. I will. I'll come back in later and give him a topper. But all your little scraps of things like this, these make great little pieces for your clusters that we make, you know, and things like that. So I want to thank you guys for joining me today and for all the wonderful questions that you've asked and the comments that you've left me over the last few days with this journal. It's been wonderful reading them and answering your questions, and I hope I've answered them in a timely manner and I've given you the appropriate answer that you've wanted, and I've been helpful. I've tried to be. So feel free to give me a thumbs up and a comment. And don't forget, you can share. And in our next video, and you'll notice I took our little string off of there. It was just in my way when I was trying to create today. So I did take it off. But in our next video, we're going to continue working on the inside. Adding some more decorations and just having some fun and just chit-chatting as we always do. So until I see you again, don't forget, thumbs ups are always important, and so are the comments. I love them. I love them. And oh, I did want to mention, with the holidays coming up, you're going to see a lot of videos pop out, and I will have one come out Christmas Day. And if you don't see it, don't forget you can come to the channel and look, because there'll be so many that it may get pushed to the bottom. So don't forget, you can come to the channel and look for the newest video, and you can do that for some of your other creatives also, because there's going to be so many things popping up that sometimes, you know, things just get pushed to the bottom. So until I see you again in our next video, ta-ta for now.